Hey Dunchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and it is time for my review of this new EP from Chime called Experience Points. Now, Chime is an artist who I haven't covered on my channel in a really long time. The first time I covered him was back in 2015, the first year I started my channel, back with his Escapism EP. And there's probably a good reason for why I haven't really covered him. I haven't really been thrilled with much of his content as a producer. And this EP more or less kind of confirms my suspicions about where he's been going. Just going into this thing, God, Different is a complete ripoff of like Fox Stevenson's music. I just wasn't thrilled with this EP. Not thrilled at all. It was like,
listen, Landon, I've had enough of your bullshit. I'm gonna punch you in the face.
hey Dunchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and it's time for my review of this new EP from Chime, Experience Points. And today I've actually got Chime here with me for the very first time. I've never done one of these collab reviews before with the actual artist in person. So this is
really?
Yeah,
I thought you said
super cool.
Oh right.
No, I've done other videos with like other critics in person. But I've never actually done like an artist collab with, like in person. So this is the very first time. I talked to some other artists about doing it, but this is the first time it's actually happened. So this is really cool. I've been listening to Chime for about 6 years now. I think I went back when I was doing Minecraft videos, if some of you guys remember those days. I found about his project Caution and Crisis that he was doing with who's now known as Fluent Crisis.
Yeah. My cousin.
So, yes, exactly. Then I've been following his stuff all the way through. He used to go by December with a 3, and then he switched over to Chime, and was actually one of the very first supporters of my reviews. He had found me through my review of Lone Moon's Amaranth album, and had asked me to review his first EP, and I did that back in 2015. It's been kind of difficult. Like I don't review a lot of dubstep EPs on my channel, so it's like I just have a hard time like being able to process thoughts completely, and I usually end up just liking a couple tracks or whatever, and I usually just don't end up covering that stuff. And I've been trying to focus in more on, you know, album reviews on this channel, but once in a while you gotta make an exception, and this time in particular happens to be an exception because Chime is here in America for his Experience Points tour, supported by Circus, right? The tour, or is it just completely separate?
I use the EP artwork for the tour posters.
All right.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So Chime's been staying at my house for the last week essentially, and we're just getting around. This is his final night here. Super sad to see him go, but we figured it would be really cool to be able to do a collab review of his new EP that just dropped here about a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, really exciting. To be able to have him here and be able to talk about this EP, and I've been jamming on this EP constantly, trying to figure out what to even say about it, because it's just so out of my vein. First of all, this EP is more of like an old school dubstep project, I guess, is one of the big things I wanted to talk about. And I guess one of the biggest things I wanted to know is because, like, at least to me, one of the names that I feel like has really been going for this old school like UK dubstep sound is like Myro, and that's like the first big thing, especially because the song Facepunch, which was the lead single off of this EP, ended up being supported by Myro at Rampage, which was really huge. That's how I found out about the song originally.
Really cool.
But I like who is an artist that like you're actually drawing from when you're kind of going for this sound? Like I'm so unfamiliar with that vein of dubstep that it's like...
Yeah, well, so I mean, for this Circus EP, I got hit up by Sean, Dr. P on Twitter, which was like a pretty amazing thing to wake up to.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, I was in that kind of like bleary-eyed state where I was like, you look at your phone and like, was that Dr. P I saw sending me a message? Yeah, he basically hit me up and was like, give us an EP. So I was like, yeah. That sounds like Circus I've been following for a very long time.
Yeah.
Very important for like the early stages of dubstep in the UK and just everything. So I wanted this EP to be kind of like part tribute to them and the sounds that they've kind of created, and part where I've gone from being influenced by them. So tracks like Facepunch are definitely like influenced by Dr. P and Rusko and all the kind of old school guys, but it still has an intro that is very much like a Chime sounding. Who else influenced? I mean, obviously my usual guys like Eptic, Xylent, Fox Stevenson, all the people making cool melodic stuff and like riff-based stuff nowadays usually influence me.
Another thing I wanted to talk about is the other side to this EP, which is the fact that it's like centric around your video games and your love of video games.
Yeah.
So I wanted you, I know you've talked about it a little bit earlier this week, but tell me a little bit, or at least for the viewers, about kind of your experience growing up with video games and how that kind of shaped your sound.
Yeah, so I guess all of my musical influence from an early age was video games. I basically didn't listen to music for pretty much my entire childhood and growing up, and I didn't class video game music as music at that point. It was just like a thing.
Just sounds in the
It was
game.
just part of the video game.
Yeah.
But then when I started making music, I realized how much like these melodies and kind of chord sequences and the way they were composed, even from like very early like 8-bit like or Game Boy sound chip, just square waves and stuff.
Whatever.
How much that had been like soaking into my brain in the background. So yeah, I mean, I still have points today where I'm producing and I make a melody and I'm like, this is from something. This is giving me a vibe of like Final Fantasy or something, you know. And I've kind of learned to embrace that a little bit. I mean, not like completely rip off a video game soundtrack, but this kind of has a vibe of this, so I'm gonna go with it. Like when I started making Tundra, I know that's not part of the EP, but I was like, this has like a snow level vibe. I'm just gonna keep going with it, and I got like snow crunching samples and sleigh bells and everything. So yeah, that's kind of become part of my signature thing that I do, really, and definitely on this EP, I was just like, I'm going full force on that. Yeah.
So obviously there do end up being some like video game samples. I think like what is it, the Mario jump? It's in like Double Jump or like you've got the punch sound. Was that like a Mortal Kombat sound?
That was just I think that was like, I found it somewhere, but it's like the cartoon punch sound. I wanted the most like cartoon kind of video gamey, and then obviously like bit crushed, so it sounds like it's like a Street Fighter sample or something. Okay.
And so something I've been thinking about as I've been listening through this EP like over and over again, in regards to the title, is that maybe it might have like some kind of double meaning. And would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of constantly assessing how far I've come with music, because it's been quite a long journey from going from like absolutely no knowledge of how music works at all to this point. I mean, it's given me like a huge spectrum of eras of my music, which is why I've had like Caution and Crisis, December, and then Chime. There were other ones before Caution and Crisis as well that I won't tell you about. But yeah, I mean, Experience Points, I thought was a really cool concept for an EP and a tour, because that's the way I kind of visualize collecting skills and, I mean, experiences. I mean, I always equate things in the real world to like video games all the time. So I'm out here collecting experience points, meeting people. Yeah, and I wanted to visualize that. That's why the character on the EP and on the tour posters, it's me going like this. And those little like pixelated orbs are like what I imagine experience points to look like. Kind of like how they look in Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like an insight into my brain turning everything into a video game.
No, you know, it's weird because I was kind of half expecting you to say, no, that's like completely ludicrous that you would even think of that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff has double meanings. Even if it's just something really simple like Double Jump, I was just like, this sounds like a fun hero platformer thing. Yeah. Let's make it Double Jump. And also, I always have like at least a little story behind it. And the story behind that one is, I always wished I could double jump.
Yeah, in real life.
In real life as a kid.
Just jump in the air.
Yeah, I would actually like jump off the sofa and then try to jump again in the air. And I'd be like, oh, it'll be so fun.
Now, here's the thing: are those grunts in the track like actually just you?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, as a continued video game reference, I wanted like, because there's loads of jump sounds in video games. There's like Link's like hit, and there's like Mario's doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's like Sonic's whoo and stuff. So I was just like, I need to do my own version of chime jumping. So in the background, there's me going like on the offbeat and stuff.
So I guess another thing is we should probably just talk about the actual content and the production of the EP. I'm not sure what I expected kind of going into this thing. As I said, I really enjoyed Facepunch, and like as soon as I heard that in the Rampage set, which originally, no, it's funny enough, when I came across the video that you posted of that song being played at Rampage, I thought it was like a Myro tune. I feel bad about that, but then I saw it was yours.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people thought the same thing.
Yeah.
If you don't have like the intro to go off, because you didn't play the intro,
I just heard the drop.
Like
so.
obviously, it's gonna sound like anyone doing like an old school track. Yeah, but that's why the intro is so chimey to like balance that out.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that song as the first single. I love the kind of old school vibe it goes for. What's the sample from that? I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like.
So it's actually like several different samples.
Okay.
One, so there's this site called SampleKing.
Okay.
.xyz. It's like a really weird site, but you can put in any word you want, and it will come up with like TV and films, where and it has like little bite-sized audio files of stuff. Okay. So I was like, I feel like I need like a punch sample or something. So part of it's like, I can't even remember where it's from, like the I'm gonna punch you in there. And then the face is actually Aaron from Game Grumps.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an episode in Mario 64 where he's where the other sample is. He's like kicking those bully things, you know, on the lava level. Maybe. Have you played it?
I've never played through it.
Oh damn. No. Anyway, there's these bully enemies, and you gotta like kick them off the edge. And he's getting really annoyed at them because there's like several of them like knocking him into the lava and stuff. And he's like, get my shoe in your face. You're just a bunch of shoe faces.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, I gotta use that in something, even if it doesn't make much sense. So I used the face. So yeah, and then I like built the sample out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird because it's so seamlessly on like.
I know, I couldn't believe it. I was like,
weird that it worked together. I would have never expected those were like two separate things.
Yeah,
that's cool. I guess I should get my one. I have one single complaint across this entire EP.
Go for
one single complaint, and I'm gonna go for that. I might have to pull it up, or maybe I shouldn't. But it's on the title track, Experience Points, the first track, and it's the. You've got like the screech and then like a vocal over it. It's like
yeah,
and that sound like it like physically pains my ears a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty obnoxious.
It is obnoxious, and I get like some people are going to be able to enjoy that, and when it comes to your music, sometimes I really enjoy the obnoxious stuff. Like Missing No is gonna. It freaking blows my mind, man, like just crazy levels of obnoxiousness going on. But in this particular case, it's just like something about it just really offsets me.
Yeah.
It's like everything else about the track I love, and I hate that one thing gets in the way of me. Cause like
I'll have to make like a VIP.
VIP just with that going.
Yeah, that was definitely like influenced by like Must Die's kind of like purposefully obnoxious basses and stuff, and also like Odd Prophet's like super pitched up vocals, and they came together in like a kind of nasty way, maybe. But yeah, I mean that's fair enough. Yeah.
No, that's literally the only thing I have to pick about. I guess I could complain that it sounds a little bit too much like Xylent. Like I was definitely picking up his vibes, like in the fills and everything, and maybe even the intro a bit too. I was definitely getting some Xylent feel on that, but it's like he's obviously your main influence when it comes to
pretty much
music, so it's like whatever. But another thing I wanted to talk about though that I still have not been clarified is like what the heck is color bass, and I just have no idea.
So color bass is what the genre I would call my music as.
Okay.
Because there's there's like melodic dubstep.
It's not melodic dubstep, but it's like more. It's like aggressive and melodic.
Yeah,
at the same time.
It refers to any bass music, any tempo.
Yeah.
That has like aggressive and still melodic, and like really like fun.
Like heavy
sound.
pads and then like melodies going on. In there too,
I mean,
then,
you
like,
could call
heavy
it melodic
sounds.
dubstep, but melodic dubstep goes all the way to like 7 lines where it's just all pads.
No, when I think of melodic dubstep, I don't think of your music. I think of like 7 lines, Fractal, AU5.
Yeah.
Like maybe even a little Millennium. But like, I don't think of your kind of style. But I do think of you as like a kind of melodic BROSTEP, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of
like
that.
It's got those elements, but
like,
it still holds on to that.
I would refer to like a lot of old Must Die
Yeah.
and like Virtual Riot and like what Fox Stevenson is doing is kind of like color bass as well. It's not really like a thing I'm like trying to kick off. It's just a really good term for me to call my music. And also like moving on to like the meaning of different, because I actually mention in the lyrics about this exact thing. So for me, like RIDDIM and like really atonal music.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm like synesthetic a bit or whatever, but I just associate that with just like black or grey.
Yeah.
Like and that's great. Like that can be really good, but I want to kind of represent lots of different colors with my music. So for me, like Double Jump is green as all hell. Experience Points is like sky blue. Different is like pink and orange.
Okay.
And Facepunch is like turquoisey green, like the artwork. Yeah, so I want to kind of like, when I play a set, it's like a rainbow of colors.
Okay.
That's what I mentioned in different, is like, when I hear the colors drain from the air, I despair, why don't we try something different? And what I'm saying there is, there's only so much rhythm I can take.
No, I was gonna kind of say that because the song does take a little. It's like a melodic rhythm sort of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I was kind of like showing people you can do more with this. You know, we have control over this, over the dance music community as artists. If we all stop making rhythm, people would stop liking rhythm. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they would just like, let's do something different. Like, rhythm is really cool, but let's be more creative with it, and let's be more colorful with it, because it's so much more interesting.
Like a lot of the times, at least, there's so much repetition, and it's hard to tell people apart. But in a kind of way, I feel like with you kind of going into the rhythm direction, I feel like it's more distinguished because you have like a more melodic edge to it, and not many people are.
Yeah, I mean that really is the benefit of me coming along at this point, is that people I feel like quite hungry for like melodies to come back into dubstep, and what I used to consider heavy, like early Skrillex, like Right In and Breaking a Sweat, are actually really riff based. Yeah, and they have so many like aspects you can like grab onto and like hum and remember, and now I consider them like really melodic because it's just all gone like so atonal, like all the way. Gray. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that makes sense. But you did the vocals on that track, right?
Yeah,
you said that's cool. Is this the first track you've done that on, or was there one before that?
Second. The Wait For Me had my own vocals.
Okay. No, I was thinking like it might have been you, because I was thinking like, okay, dude kind of sounds like Fox Stevenson a little bit. I was getting that feel.
I think that's because we're both English and we're both like Northern English. Yeah. So we're gonna have a very similar like singing accents. Everyone's gonna say that sounds like Fox Stevenson. I was ready for that, because I mean it was influenced by him, like totally. Oh yeah. But I mean that's why I put plenty of sounds that he wouldn't put in. Yeah. Like the video game influence and you know.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd probably say that Different is probably my second favorite song.
Okay.
EP. I'd probably say if I had to put a ranking order, it would probably be like Facepunch, Different, Double Jump, and then
Experience Points.
Experience Points, which sucks because it's like the most complex tune on the entire EP, but it's like that one sound just made it.
Well, it's like the main bass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the drop is so based on that one, at least in the first drop especially. Yeah. If it was the second one live, I'd probably go nuts, but at least the first drop, that kind of, it's so centric around that it's hard for me to put it like above any of the other songs in this EP, because I really enjoy everything else. And like Double Jump, I don't think I originally enjoyed it as much as I do now. I really like the track, like especially I listened to the EP like 4 or 5 times today, and just listening to it today, I found myself like really enjoying Double Jump a lot. And I don't know, maybe some of it's just like the punchiness of the it's like
that's very
something about it. Yeah, it just makes me want to dance or something, like going.
It's a weird
fun
one.
Track.
So that one was it was a voice memo, baby. In the, I literally got my phone out and I was like, I got this melody idea. And also that track happened in one day because I had the voice memo. I was like, this is the idea for the track. So I made that, and then I made like the B section of the drop, and then the intro was pretty simplistic. But yeah, I wanted to keep it really short and sweet for that one because I didn't feel like it needed anything more than it already had.
Yeah. It is a really short track.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes 41 or something.
It must be the shortest on the EP.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that makes sense. One thing I also wanted to note that I just noticed today is because before today, when I was listening to the EP, it was on like the private SoundCloud link on my phone, and because of that, I had to like, you have to like press skip and then play, skip and then play, skip and then play on everything. But if you listen to this track, or this EP, I should say, if you listen to this EP straight through, Facepunch goes like perfectly into Double Jump. Just it has the punch, and then it's like immediately there's the downbeat, and it sounds perfect. I was thinking like when I was listening through it today, at least after it came out, which I think I've only gone through once or twice since it came out in the last couple hours. Yeah, because it was just a couple hours ago. When I listened through it, I was thinking like, wait, did Facepunch get like an extended mix? Because like there's like a like
that was intended because I made all the tracks, and then I was like, what order is this going to go in? So I was like, I want Experience Points to be the title track, so we'll have that first.
Yeah.
Different just felt right after that. Like the 2 150 BPM tracks, and then the 2 140 ones. Mm-hmm. And then Facepunch, the way it ended just happened to be the punch. Yeah. And then I was like, well, I should put the 140 track that's next, like perfectly on beat. Yeah, it just kind of lined up.
It worked. The whole thing worked really nicely.
Cool.
Like I wasn't like when I listened through this EP, I wasn't expecting like a kind of seamless experience.
Yeah.
I guess I was just more expecting like a collection of tracks that kind of revolve around a similar theme, I suppose. But then having that was like a pleasant surprise just listening through it today. So
they do make that's the best way of like transitioning between the tracks without them like actually merging into each other and still being like super DJ friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
like overall, I would definitely suggest you guys to listen to this EP, especially if you're into that like old school brand of dubstep, or you've been like aching for that. And Harvey puts like a really interesting twist in all of his stuff. I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for him, even if I haven't covered him on my channel a ton, which I've always intended to. It's like, I really want to cover this upcoming EP, and then it just doesn't happen. But I've always had a ton of respect for this guy. Like I said, I've been listening to his music for a while, and I think part of what holds me on to that is his melodic approach to music, and kind of letting his roots kind of still play a big part. Because a lot of people, you know, are super willing, especially in the EDM scene these days, a lot of people are willing to let go of whatever style they kind of maybe got popular for, or what they're kind of rooted in, to be able to like pick up a whatever trend is happening right now. Like that's happening a lot with like dance hall right now, for example, especially in the U.S. Like everyone wants to sound like DJ Snake and Major Lazer.
Oh yeah,
it's just crazy. But Harvey has always had this kind of tie-in sound that goes back to those things.
Thanks.
And another thing kind of going in that direction I did want to mention is I think part of the reason I love Facepunch so much is the melody during the second drop. I think it reminds me a lot of like some old Caution and Crisis tunes.
Oh really?
Like maybe I was trying to think of which one specifically. It might have been Magma.
Oh, maybe something.
But I think part of the reason.
Yeah, both of those tracks kind of slide into like a Middle Eastern vibe.
Yeah,
slightly.
Exactly.
There's definitely like a note weirdly out of key on the second drop of Facepunch that just ended up working.
Yeah.
So I was like playing it on the keyboard, and I was like, oh, that kind of works, but it shouldn't. Okay, I'll keep it.
That was good.
Yeah, but speaking about roots, like on Experience Points, the main melody of like the intro and the chords on the drop are actually based off an old kind of like sequence I had from an old remix last December.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm gonna bring this back, this track, which is something like I really enjoy, is taking stuff from kind of like my youth of making music, and kind of capturing the excitement of that time when I was like, this is really cool, I like this idea, because like I still really love a lot of the ideas from when I first started. Like I've never had to like develop that too much. I feel like I've always liked my ideas. But now I can kind of bring them back into 2018 with all the experience points I've gained. and like rehash it and rework it and stuff. And I do that all the time. Yeah,
I would definitely suggest you guys to check this one out, especially if you're a bass head and you're not listening to Chime. You absolutely should, because he's got a unique approach, and it's hard. Everything is so saturated these days. It's hard to find artists who really stand out, or producers, I should say, who particularly stand out in the dubstep world. For me. So I would definitely suggest you guys check this one out. Personally, I'm probably feeling like a light 7.5 out of 10, and the reason why it probably wouldn't end up any higher, probably just in the way of not being like 100% like totally inventive. Like there are obviously some very clear influences throughout this, and then obviously like
it was definitely like I kind of wanted it to be clear like what my influences were and stuff. But I totally see what you mean. Like there's more inventing to be done.
And of course, moving forward, things are going to keep getting better. Like typically, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Your next EP, which I don't think I'm allowed to say the name of, but
no.
I'm going to say his next EP is definitely more down my alley. I guess
really?
I'd say of like dubstep that I listen to more often. And I'm going to probably end up talking about that one in rapid fire reviews. I don't think I'm going to end up doing like a full video, but I really enjoy the content on it, and it's more similar to like the range of dubstep, I guess, that I kind of enjoy.
That's interesting.
A little
I would have put it the other way around, I think. I don't know.
But and then of course the other thing is just the ridiculous, obnoxious thing in experience points that I felt like might have dragged it down, knocked it down a little for me. Other than that, I think this is a really great EP, one of my favorites so far of the year to listen through. A lot of really enjoyable, I guess I can't really say a lot of enjoyable tracks when there's only 4 total, but
there's 4 enjoyable tracks.
There are four enjoyable tracks on this EP, and you guys should check it out. And if you'd like to check it out, I have the Spotify link down in the description, and I'm sure at this point, this will probably end up going up on Saturday. Some of you will have probably already checked out the EP, and I'd like to know what you think down in the comment section below, and he probably does too.
Yeah, I do.
So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. It was really cool being able to do this, and it's been like a really cool experience just being able to have Harvey here after him being such a I guess role model for me for like the last long time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm Landon Remixes.
I'm Chime, I guess.
And we'll see you guys later. Peace.